Ahoy, mateys. Welcome to Nephew and Uncle Basketball Banter. Uncle Dave, the NBA playoffs are upon us, and just wanted to just kick off. I guess we'll just really go through quickly these play-in games here with the Hornets and the Magic. Was
Mhm.
a game where I just thought the Hornets just totally just dropped the ball and the Magic just plowed through them.
Yeah, the
It was
Hornets
kind
look
of
like
a
crap.
really lopsided game. Obviously, the Hornets spent all their capital mentally, I think, and physically playing the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
And obviously, they must have acted like they won the championship right after that because they were
sure.
just a no-show against Orlando. And then you go prior to the prior game there with the Hornets and the Heat. Obviously, it was just that was a pretty incredible game actually. There was some really great shot making between Kobe White and Tyler Hero at the end of that game. So for the Hornets to get a win like that was really cool to see. But Bam Adebayo going down, if he probably doesn't get injured, that game probably goes to the Miami Heat, considering how that game
Yeah,
turned out the rest
yep.
of the way when he was out for the whole second half. Then you had also the Warriors against the Clippers, and the Clippers just totally collapsed against Golden State. And
Yep.
then after that game, Golden State, they just kind of get hammered pretty good by the Phoenix Suns, who just are a better and a deeper team. And no, the speculation that Steve Kerr might be actually not the coach of the Warriors next season, so I guess he's going to get out while the getting's good.
Yeah.
Obviously, with this team now on the downside, so we'll see what'll happen with them. It's interesting because I think you still have really a good year or two with Steph Curry and Draymond still, so we'll see if they can retool. What do you think of the playing games, Uncle Dave, that you saw before we get
Well,
into the game ones?
the Heat thing with Adebayo was a shame because I love Adebayo and I love Tyler Hero. Um, you know, when you watch some of these teams, I felt like Spoelstra didn't do a great job this year. That Heat roster this year is not that bad. When you watch that team, you say to yourself, "How didn't they win more games?" That's what I say to myself. But yeah, they had an unfortunate. I thought they would have found a way to win. The Hornets, we pointed this out all year. I know Con Knipples had a great year, and I'm a big Duke fan, but I kept telling you in the playoffs it's going to be different because people are going to isolate him defensively and offensively. People pay more attention to detail. Never before has there been a bigger gap between postseason basketball, where there actually is effort, and in-season basketball, where there isn't.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
that's
You see a lot of players now looking at refs for fouls that are normally called in the regular season.
no,
Postseason, they don't get
absolutely
called.
not.
It's a lot more physical.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I like I said, I love Khan, but he had two terrible games. Had a
Yeah, he
guy in
didn't.
his
Yeah, he
pocket.
didn't. He didn't produce. Yeah.
The attention to detail is totally different, and this time of year, and the biggest travesty of the NBA is
Plus the
pointed out.
scouting, right, Uncle Dave? I mean, they have to
Yeah.
be more dialed in on the scouting
Well,
reports and
plus
everything.
just the biggest travesty of the NBA is as a whole is different this time of year. The effort is totally different. That's the problem with the NBA right now. That's the big elephant in the room is the
Right.
fact that they don't even play hard. And the war getting to the Warriors. I mean, their GM. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not Myers anymore.
Mike
Obviously,
Dunleavy.
this team has tried to just beat on the dead horse, and you can't keep just getting smaller guys. You let a guy like Kaminga walk out, and the Hawks are playing tonight. You keep trying to Brzezinski. It's a nice story. It's a cute story. Yeah, go get another lacrosse player, whatever you're gonna do. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? I mean, you're just gonna bang your head on the wall unless Draymond or Steph are calling the shots. This is a disgrace of a GM job because they shouldn't be calling the shots. But obviously, they have more say than people think. But the Warriors got to move on from the situation. You can't just put in small players out there in a league where wing players are 6'9" and 6'11", and you're gonna have your biggest guy out there be 6'8". I mean, it's just you can call it all you want, you can be cute about it, but it doesn't work. It hasn't worked for a couple of years now. Steph is breaking down during the regular season. So you got to do something else. For a brief moment though, to see Draymond lock up Paul George, not Paul George,
Kawhi
to lock
Leonard.
up Kawhi Leonard, shows you how great a defender Draymond is. The Clippers. I mean that experiment needs to be blown up now. I mean they do have Garland, but they got to build from there. But they're not going to do that probably. So
Well, the
you
whole
know,
situation with Bradley Beal that just fell apart.
yeah, Bradley Beal's disgraceful. So the Hornet Heat game was good. The Orlando Magic Hornet game was such a disappointing thing. I will say this about the Magic.
They look like how we thought they would look in these last two
Exactly. We
games
talked
here.
about this in the NBA today. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's why we've seen more upsets in the last several years when the NBA regular season has become meaningless. We've seen more upsets the last several years because of this. And now Orlando, who was supposed to be maybe a 1 or 2 seed this year and was the cute pick of all people before the NBA season. We talked about it on this channel about how good the Orlando Magic could be with the addition of a kid like Bane. And here you are. You go out and you beat the hell out of the Heat, and all of a sudden they look engaged. Caro had a weird season. I don't think it was great. And then they go out and they beat Detroit, and everybody's all shocked. It's not that shocking. Detroit has been pushing all year long and didn't take their foot off the pedal.
Right.
That's a credit to their coach. That's a credit to them. Orlando has been slacking the whole freaking year, and they looked like a 1 seed yesterday. Orlando's not your typical 8 seed. That's because, again, the NBA season, and Orlando didn't have major injuries, but, the point guard has not developed at the same rate we thought he would out of Gonzaga. And, again, Caro had a strange year, and here we are. Now, all of a sudden, Orlando's locked in, and we talked about this. How, are you a team that's a product of just being locked in, which is a credit to you? Or are you really that kind of team? And in today's NBA, with the regular season, you can't tell anymore. And so while Detroit is definitely the 1 seed in the East, we're not telling you the most talented team in the East. They're not more talented than Cleveland. They're not more talented than even Orlando, but they played the best. And so you just don't know what you're going to get. And in the West, like I said, it was time for the Warriors to go. I was happy for Phoenix because Phoenix has had a good year. I'm proud of where Phoenix has gone. Booker's had a good year. I think they've had some good pieces. They didn't look good yesterday, obviously. The Trailblazers, I thought, had a great win. Some good game. That was a great game to see. The Trailblazer game was fun. But in these games here, in this first round games, if you look at it, which one to start with? That's the thing.
Let's start with the Cavaliers and the Raptors, which was the first game of the NBA playoffs.
Sure. Yeah, the Cavs-Raptors game was a weird game. We talked about the Raptors was one of my favorite teams to watch on here too, because I loved the situation. I loved having those 3 great wings, and Toronto presents a weird problem. And for the first half of that game, Toronto gave Cleveland some problems because to try to guard Barnes, Barrett, and Ingram is not easy. It's a weird-looking team. They got Shed at the point guard, so I know that's that's a weird situation because Shed is not really your typical point guard. He's a great defender, but again, there's a couple of guys in the league now. I still believe there's a shortage of point guards and things of that nature. But he's a guy that can survive in today's NBA playoff situation because he's not a great point guard, but he's going to defend for you and he's going to make some shots and he's going to do some things. So Cleveland got away from them late, but this game at the half was a good game. And like I said, they present weird problems because their matchup is pretty good. I think they're down 7 at the half, but then it got away in the third quarter, and then they kind of coasted after that. But if you look at the game and the box score, Mitchell did his thing. Harden is definitely going to be a problem. But if you look, Ingram only gets 9 shots. Why Ingram's only taking 9 shots is beyond me. He does get to the free throw line 10 times, and Barnes has a pretty good game. Barrett has a pretty good game and they still lose. Jamal Shed has a pretty good game and they still lose.
It's kind of deflating because you could argue, Donovan Mitchell and James Harden are the best players on the floor and they're both on Cleveland, so it's hard.
Yeah, well, they shoot 52% and lose because Cleveland shoots 54%. That's why. And then the bottom line is you're giving up, on the backboards, you're getting out rebounded.
What kills them is you can't have someone like Max Strus getting 24 and going 8 for 10.
Right, and you get out rebounded, and the turnovers are always a problem. It's the same old stuff. None of this stuff is a mystery. It's in a vacuum, but you get a couple more turnovers. They get to the free throw line a little bit more. 22 for 28 from the free throw line. Brandon Ingram got to the free throw line a lot, but again, you let a team shoot that good. And I know there's a lot of late scores to pull this score closer than it was. Because at one point it was 21 points at the end of the third quarter, pretty much. So I know this game got a couple of late baskets to make it look closer than it was.
Yeah, I never doubted that Cleveland wasn't going to pull away.
Exactly. You shoot 52% and you lose a game. And that's weird because with some length there, Barrett's a good defender. Barnes is a gamer. I know Ingram can't guard me, but you would think that, a little bit more competitive situation there. But Mobley's a tough cover. He's the guy in the NBA that I think
that dunk with his left hand, you see that play? Holy crap, man, what a play that
I think he's the guy in the NBA that gets lost in it all the time.
He's one of the most underrated guys, I think, in the league.
I think he is. And like you said, Max Strus 4 for 6 from 3. So when a guy's going,
if he does that for them, they're going to win. And Jared Allen, had a terrific game. like lob catcher, 5 to 7, and he's able to.
Jared Allen, and I'm so glad they didn't break up Allen and Mobley. I still wish they wouldn't have given up on Garland, but they did. So I really like the Raptors. I know they're probably maybe in a little bit of trouble, but I got to say to myself, you got to ask yourself, which parts of this game were real and which parts of this game were not real. So if Toronto can come out and keep shooting 52%, they could win a series. And I don't think that Cleveland is that difficult to guard for Toronto. I'm just saying they shot 54%.
Well,
So
if you're Toronto, you're the coaching staff. You're like, there's no way Mobley's going 6 of 9 again, and Mitchell. I mean, he went 11 of 20, and I mean, they just
sure.
Cleveland was incredible. I mean, 8 for 10 for Max Strus. I mean, they just were incredible.
Yeah.
It's not that you were bad. They
Right.
just were
So
that good.
it's a really bizarre game
I mean,
because
Uncle Dave, 50% from three for the
I
game
know what
as a
Arizona did
team.
a couple of times this year in college. They just shot the hell out of it. So
Yeah.
that was a strange game. But Toronto did give them some problems. They had the lead early into the second quarter. But, Cleveland's a better team. No one's denying that. But Mitchell's a volume shooter. This is a big year for Mitchell in the playoffs, or he's going to get that weird rap if he doesn't come through, even though I think he's overachieved in his career. I think he's an undersized two. So I think that hurts him sometimes. But it's a big year for Mitchell. But I love Mobley and I love Allen. And obviously we're rooting for Coach Atkinson. So we're happy about that. We just hope that James Harden doesn't go to the club too many
What
times.
what looks good is Mitchell and Harden being able to like blend when they take their shots and when they're able to go one on one and everything. They seem like they figured that out pretty good. So the Harden
Yeah,
play looks like it's done well for them. That it's worked out.
and the other thing about Harden as he gets older here, I know he's still probably the main guy on the team, or the second
I
guy.
mean, he had 10 assists too, James
Right. He's a
Harden.
guy that can still get you isolated and get you a bucket or an assist. And the other thing he can do for you is when the other guys go out, you keep James Harden out there with the second group. There's no doubt who's shooting the ball.
Hmm.
So James can do some things. If you know how to use him and harness him, I think he could be a great addition for them. But again, I think there's like 6 or 7 teams that could win the East here. So for me, this is
Yeah,
not like that crazy to me. But
yeah,
that was a good game for about a half, and then it got away.
yeah. No, Cleveland just looked really focused and good. And obviously, they just shot the hell out of it. But Mobley and Allen on the front line, though, I think that's the key
Sure,
for them too. You have two
sure.
guys in there that are able to really affect the painted area and really play good defense. And they were able to. I mean, both being combined for them. I mean, 11 of 16. I mean,
Sure.
they do that, they're going to win.
Yeah, and we're just hoping that everybody stays healthy, which always leads me to my big point is
Sure.
how healthy are we going to stay for these NBA playoffs? So all these predictions and talks just are guaranteed on health, obviously, but you like to see all these guys stay healthy. For me, this is the biggest thing. So game 2 is tonight, obviously. So that'll be fun in a couple hours. That tips off. Really excited for that. This is a great time of year.
Like you said, the
So
thing is, Toronto's a very good team. I mean, they
they
play
are. Toronto's very good. Toronto's
they're
very good.
really
Again.
good, the
It's
Raptors.
a really strange team. I can never remember 3 bigger wing players that start for one team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we consider Ingram a wing player, but he is. He's 6'11". But Scotty Barnes is the real deal.
RJ
And
Barrett's turned himself into a pretty good
I
person.
love RJ Barrett. He's gonna be one of these guys that's gonna be like half his years. He'll be an NBA All Star. He'll be underrated unless he wins a title. But Barrett is a player, and Shed, had a nice game himself. But if they could just get a little bit better, a little bit, just a little bit more help. I mean, that's a weird team. Like I said, try to think of 3 wings on a team
You
like
see,
that.
this is a team, Uncle Dave, where Giannis Antetokounmpo went to them, then all of a sudden they're
Oh my
a
god,
championship caliber team.
he
Right,
could have played. He could play center for them. And they'd be unbelievable.
right,
Like,
right,
what would
right,
you do with them then?
right. Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
you forget it. I mean, it's such a fun team to watch. It's an
it
interesting
is.
team to watch, and I like Barrett because obviously he was a Knick. He went to Duke, but I like Barrett. I root for him because he handled himself like a pro on the way out. When the Knick fans kind of just how it is,
Yeah, they
they
had
blame
enough of them, right? For
they
whatever reason.
blame you for being not who you are, but not who you're not. And he's a good player. So yeah, I root for him. They've always been bitter that he wasn't Zion Williamson, but I'd say that he's had a better career than Zion.
Oh,
But
absolutely, he has so far.
hey,
His body of work is better, no question.
really happy for the Raptors to get in here and show some stuff. But I'd like to see him put up a better fight. Maybe tonight they'll hang a little better, and we'll know it. We'll know
Well,
it.
that's the thing. Game one, you can kind of say that both these teams was kind of an anomaly. You got to really see what's going to happen in this next game
Yeah,
too.
like which that's for me. Game one's is so
Something's got to
funky.
give here. Nothing that's not going to hold up what just happened that game one.
Right.
That's an
And
anomaly
there's so
right
many
there.
series that game ones just tell the wrong series. I always
They
think
do.
back to so many the Sixers with the Lakers when
You get
Iverson,
misled almost. Yeah.
and then the 80 and 86 was painful to watch Magic and then beat the Rockets with Olajuwon and Sampson only to get swept the next 4
Right.
games. I
That's
mean,
4 games. Right. Yeah. Who
and the
would have thought
Lakers
that was
beat the
happening?
Bulls. Lakers beat the Bulls in game 1 and then that went south. So
Right.
game ones can be crazy. And you got like I said, you got to see which narratives and which parts of the game are real and which parts are going to go forward as the same or they're going to change, and we're going to have to see that tonight.
Sure. We'll move on, Uncle Dave, to game two with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets.
Oh yeah, game with Timberwolves and Nuggets. This was probably I don't know. I want to say this is maybe the first to the second best of the 8 games.
Yeah, this was incredible, this one.
This game, I have to say this. Aaron Gordon is a guy that I just love. I love Aaron Gordon. He's a guy that gave up being the man to come and
He did, yeah. Yeah, he's taken a
be the
lesser
third
role.
guy,
He's done the
and this
Chris
is
Bosh role essentially with
yep,
the
and
with the
and this is a
Heat.
guy that like you have to just love. I mean, like I look at him and I just go, Jesus Christ! But this is a good game. I'm so mad at the T Wolves GM though. I'm so disappointed.
They
Uh,
should be in a better spot, I agree.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing here, man? I like Dante Divac. Can you get a goddamn point guard here? Mike Conley again plays 10 minutes. Why are we holding on to this guy? We don't have a point guard. You can't have Edwards at the
Well,
point.
we talked about it. Why didn't someone take a flyer on a Chris Paul when he was dealt at the
Yeah,
beginning of the season? Just get him in there and see if he could,
yeah,
like you said, give Edwards the ball. He's handling it way too much.
yeah. He's 7 for 19, probably on tiredness alone. Has seven
Right.
assists and 9 boards. I mean, Jesus, can we?
Yeah.
Dante's a nice player, but he's not a point guard. Can we?
No,
I
he's
mean, like,
not.
why are we holding on to Mike Conley if we're going to give him 10 minutes? I don't.
You're right though. It's glaring though. There is no point guard on this team. Absolutely.
No, it's disgusting. So you're sitting there watching this, and it's frustrating as hell to
Because Edwards
watch.
is a two with the one. That's really what he's
Yeah,
doing right now.
and it's very frustrating to watch. So, you know, I got to switch spots here as we're in the
And
middle
plus, we
of.
talked about how the playoffs is a different beast as far as physicality and whistles a little tighter. So with your usage
Yeah,
rate being that high, it's going to wear on you.
it's a lot tighter, and so they're going to let them. Going to let them play a little defense. They're going to let them bump on each other, but the refs are going to let you
They're
bang a
going to
little
have to
bit.
play Mike Conley more then. He's going to have to play more than 10 minutes.
Absolutely, but here's the problem: they played him 10 minutes in a game where they really needed him.
Right.
I don't understand the GMing. There's a lot of
What do you
bad
think, Uncle
GMing
Dave,
going on.
of the Towns trade now? You feel like that now the Knicks got the better end of that than the Timberwolves did?
I think the Knicks got the better end of it, but again, I feel like Minnesota's just stacked a bunch of the same guys on the same team, kind of like the Warriors are doing. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we're just stacking like the same stuff on the same team. Like, so now, like, no one denies that Minnesota's a pain in the ass and can play some defense and could definitely beat you. They're a problem, but at the end of the day, it's the same team. You still don't have a guy running your team. You still don't have like that pure scorer. I know Edwards is a great player, but Randall's a physical specimen. You know, if I was Minnesota, I would try to turn into like the late 80s, early 90s Pistons, just beat the crap out of people. Jaden Daniels is a good player. They got so many good players.
Nas
Nas
Reed.
Reed's a good player. But like, geez, just have a guy. If you tell me Chris Paul's that much of a pain in the ass, we couldn't look into this guy,
Yeah, I know.
or just beg like a guy like John Wall and say, "Hey, dude, can you walk?"
Not as deep either. They miss a guy like Alexander Walker. He's not on the team this year.
No, I mean that's the thing. And so you played, yeah, you basically played 9 guys, but Mike Conley played 10 minutes. So is that really 9 guys? I don't
Right.
know, but
Right. Kyle
you know,
Anderson, 7 minutes.
Cam Johnson paid dividends here. This is exactly
Yep.
what Denver needed. Here's a guy that just comes in and gets 12 points. Now you say, what the hell's 12 points? Well, what the hell's 12 points is 5 for 12, plays 33 minutes. All right, does a nice job for you. You'd like to see him get some rebounds. He didn't get any rebounds. But Aaron Gordon, 5 for 10, 8 boards, 3 assists. Joker, besides the 5 turnovers, I mean, what else is there to say? I mean,
Oh my
just
God.
ridiculous with Rudy
11 and
Gobert.
19. 11 and 19.
This is all they needed, though. Christian Braun, Jamal Murray, obviously. I would like to have seen Valanciunas play more minutes, though.
Yeah,
Because
he's gonna have to play more. He's gonna have to play more than 7 minutes. You have to play
Joker
at
needs
least.
to come out more.
Yeah, he's
You
gonna have,
have
for
to
game
commit
one,
to it.
maybe you do this, but he's gonna have to play at least 12 or 13, I think, a night from
Tim
here.
Hardaway Jr., 2 for 6. Bruce Brown, 3 for 7. Nice job. But that's all they need. They just need a couple of these guys. Why Tyus Jones doesn't get any burn, I have no idea.
How about that? He's a DNP.
He's a guy that leads like NBA 3 years in a row in assists to turnover. So the thing
Yeah.
is, I like Bruce Brown pickup, a Tim Hardaway pickup. Tim Hardaway, you got to watch. He can shoot you out of a game, but they have options now. Whereas the last couple of years they didn't have
They were
options. So
little, yeah. Yep.
the
They
Denver
were,
GM is the opposite to me of the Houston GM, the Dallas GM, the Warriors GM, and the T-Wolves GM, because this guy went out and saw the holes and has tried to fill the holes best he could.
they have a 9-man rotation. I think they're a little deeper. I think they're better than they were
Yeah.
the previous last 2 years. And you a guy like Valanciunas or Hardaway, they could help you win a game here when maybe you were destined to lose it. So guys like that, and Cam Johnson, definitely, I thought he's a great addition for them too.
Absolutely. I tell you, I'm just really excited to see how this goes. I mean,
It's incredible, Uncle Dave, with Jokic, though. I mean, you know what the guy's going to do out there. He's a plotter. He's not a
yep,
speed guy.
yep.
All he does is just produce this guy. Message you on Instagram the the stat on him. He's the first guy to lead the league in assists and rebounds in an NBA
Yep.
season.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
he's ridiculous.
I mean, he's doing Wilt Chamberlain type things, this
Yeah, he
guy.
made a play. He made a play the other day that just so casual to the fan because you think you're at the park. He's
Right.
bringing up the game in the NBA playoffs. He's probably about 3 feet from the right hash going down the court with the ball, and he just skips it up to the freaking left corner. About it's probably a 70-foot pass. Just hits the guy in the nose. Hits a three. Now nobody thinks about it, but just that play, you're a center handling the ball, and you're in the middle of a dribble. You take it, you throw a two-hand over the head pass, and you just hit the guy in the left corner.
His touch around the rim with the fadeaways, though, and the jump
Best
hooks.
bad shot maker there is. He takes the worst angles and hits him. He
Yeah,
has the angle between the backboard and the baseline and
right.
hits it.
It's a shot that you don't want any of your bigs to take, and he
Or
managed to
anybody to
make
take
those.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he hits it. He's just unbelievable. I mean, I've said it before. I don't know where to put him because I'm fairly torn by this, but he's the freak of this generation. We all talk about Curry and LeBron. This is the guy. I'm telling you, this guy's the freak.
he looks like if you combined like Sabonis and Larry Bird, like this is
Yeah,
what they would play like. This guy,
there's
it's
never
just
been a center like this guy. And like LeBron, all right, you can say there've been other players
he's a
similar to
freak.
LeBron. I can't find anybody similar to this guy. This is the freak.
Yeah,
This is the guy. Now, do you put him ahead of Olajuwon? I don't know. I mean,
it's getting there, right? I mean, Elijah
him,
won two
Shaq, and
championships.
Olajuwon to me
Close.
is a tough choice here. He's already
It's
better than
close.
David Robinson and Patrick Ewing in
Yeah,
my book.
he's ahead of that second tier of great centers.
So,
He's
like, I
ahead
don't
of
know.
all those
Is
guys.
he better than Olajuwon and Shaq? Part of me would rather have him play than Shaq for some reasons, but the other reasons, and yeah, he'll always get criticized because this NBA doesn't have post players that he has to guard, but that's not his fault.
Right.
So this guy is, I don't know, man. This is just nuts. I
Well,
just hope.
Shaquille O'Neal, I heard him say it. He's like centers back then wouldn't stop him because in the pick and pop game he would just
No,
terrorize
he
guys
would
in
just
that.
kill you, but then he
And they
wouldn't
said
stop him.
Elijah Wan and Shaquille O'Neal one on one, nobody's stopping those guys either in
Oh,
the post. So,
Shaq just
yeah,
drop stepped and
yeah.
dunked guys
I
to the rim.
mean, I was thinking, I mentioned it to you on this show. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal had about a 3 or 4 year stretch. You could argue those were the best years of any player ever.
If you look at his
3 or 4
NBA
years straight.
Finals runs too, he was
Yeah, he's insane. It's insane. He got it to him on the
great
block.
player.
It was 2 points.
Yeah, just a great player.
The Nuggets and the Timberwolves, they've matched up quite a bit here in the last few years.
It's unfortunate because the NBA right now is the West Coast. Well, 1 through 6 is such a tough thing, and you have these great matchups and things of that nature. So it's tough.
You
Sure.
got the Knicks and the Hawks, Uncle Dave.
Yeah, good game. I feel bad for the Hawks in the sense that
I mean, Jalen Brunson in the first quarter of this game was just unbelievable.
yeah. The funny thing is Johnson's had one of the best years and no one's ever talked. I've never seen a guy have that good a year with nobody talking about it. What do you average?
Dan Van
20?
Gundy said about it. He's like, on the national stage, he's like, no one really knows the Atlanta Hawks.
What he had 22, 10, and 7 for the year.
He was incredible, yeah.
I mean, and then Dyson Daniels is no scrub himself. Had a bad game, but Akanugo, if I'm saying that right, good game. I mean, the problem for the Hawks is Walker Alexander shoots 6 for 17. Their bench is not that good. Gabe Vincent is not Gabe Vincent anymore. Kuminga is going to be good for you, but other than that, they got some problems here. Buddy Hield doesn't get any burn. I don't know.
Yeah, what's going on there, right?
I don't know that, but and Tony Bradley could help this team too. The problem for the Hawks is they like to play fast, but the Knicks are probably the deepest team in the league. And I don't mean like the best team deep wise, but I mean like the Knicks will play 11 guys some nights. That's the beauty of Mike Brown. He'll throw anybody in there at any time. So
that's the thing. Yeah, Alvarado and Kolek didn't even check in this game.
Yeah, I mean Alvarado can really play. So
right.
when we get to a Knicks point in a minute, I have to talk about Alvarado because if the Knicks really want to win the NBA title,
you're gonna have to get in the rotation. Yeah,
you're gonna have to have some uncomfortable conversations when they need to stop with Towns and Brunson on the floor and put Alvarado in the game and go with like Anunoby and Hart out there and Robinson. But
it doesn't matter this series, but in the later series,
right,
you
have to take your star off the floor for a stop here or there. And are you going to do that? Well, if you really want to win, you're going to have to do this. Alvarado can really defend, and this is the Hawks are fun to watch though. This game tonight is not a gimme. McCollum is a pain in the ass. He's so good. I mean, this is a fun team, but the Knicks are so deep to run up and down. Yeah, the Knicks can control the tempo, but also the Knicks aren't going to get tired with this rotation.
No, I think they're just going to wear on them. They'll slowly. I mean, the series can go 6, I think, but they're just going to wear on them, I believe.
But Anunoby's one of my favorite players in the league. Here's a guy. Look at this line: 6 for 9, 8 rebounds, plays great defense, but there's no stat that tells you that. Hart 4 for 8. This is perfect. 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Just
the Knicks have like an all-star lineup of glue guys. The guys they don't need the ball, and they're just going to do it.
Bridges decided to show up tonight, so that was nice.
Yeah.
And Robinson's a good player. Landry Shamet does some good things for you, though he didn't shoot well the other day. Jordan Clarkson can play. McBride can play. I mean, Jesus God. I mean, this team is
Yeah,
deep
they're
as
a
hell.
deep team, and then Kolek and Alvarado didn't even
Oh,
check in.
Alvarado can guard anybody. So this is a good group. So that's 3, 6, 9. That's 9 guys that played, but
Yeah, they could go 11 though.
they can go 11. And you know what? Tonight, who knows? I mean, Shamet might not play tonight, but that's okay. That's the beauty that the expanded rosters of over the years that Mike Brown has, and he's gonna have to press all the right buttons.
I would say, do you think now we have enough body of work here to look at it? We'll really see how the playoffs go too with the Thibodeau versus Mike Brown. Do you think that this now is the correct move that the Knicks made with moving
Yeah, I'm
him?
not saying it's the wrong move. We won't know if it's the right move. We'll never know if it's the right or wrong move. And this year's not going to tell you whether it's the right or wrong move. The problem is the fans are going to say, well, if you don't get to the finals, it's the wrong
Right,
move, which is
right.
just insane. If you've ever competed at a high level, like our guy shot from the Pacers last year, a stud,
Halliburton.
God,
Oh yeah,
Halliburton, that
where the ball hit the
ball
ceiling.
bounced 10 feet up in the air. So, like, to say,
You never see a roll like that ever. Never happens.
see Don Nelson do it from about 6 feet up in the
Yeah,
air, but
and that shot wasn't nearly as high as that one.
exactly. So this is just a situation where New York fans are they're just so unrealistic about this. But
Right.
you can't determine it. The Hawks, I think the Knicks will be fine with the Hawks. The next round, obviously, with the Celtics, I think, we'll talk about the Celtics. I think they're one of those overachieving teams right now. I know we see the big C on the chest and the green and the leprechaun, and we think this is the Celtics, but this isn't even as good as the Celtics of last year. Maybe they'll achieve more, but this Celtics team just pushed so hard, like we talked about with somebody like Detroit. They pushed hard all year, and that's why I don't think it's even close for Coach of the Year. But that roster of the Celtics is disgraceful. I think the Heat actually have a better roster, but I guess I don't know. I think the Heat had a disappointing year in my mind. But the thing is, the Knicks, I think it's hard to judge whether it's going to be a success or not. I think Mike Brown's certainly capable. But again, I think he's willing to pull the trigger on more guys. So I think that's where he has his advantage. But
Right.
Tibbs, I think, is a better defensive coach. But then again, if you're not going to rotate Towns or Brunson out of there on defense, you're going to get hurt.
I think that's an excellent point you bring up with Towns and Brunson, that you're going to have to really strategically, I think, defensively here, you're going to have to be able to pick and choose spots where you need to maybe check them out of the game for a possession or two, like you said, to get a stop. And will you do that? The Rick
Yeah,
Brunson thing, we don't know really how much control does he have or how much say. So it's kind of
sure.
a murky type of gray area that you don't really quite know.
No, and it's like I said, I love Mike Brown. He did a great job. I thought he got hosed with the Lakers.
Such a likable Knicks team, though. These are a bunch of
It
just
is.
really
But,
salt of the earth kind of
there's a
guys.
lot of overachievers on this team. I love
Yep.
Hart. But at the same time, every series is so different. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this pans out, assuming that they take care of the Hawks. But hey, this game could be a 5-point game with the Hawks up in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it feels different. Here's a guy who's a pro's pro. The guy's been a good pro for a long time. I don't think he gets the credit that he's due. I know him and Stoudemire, not Stoudemire, him and oh geez, the stud from Portland there, my man, Dame.
Damian Lillard.
Him and Dame, if they would have had a little help, I feel like, I'm so disappointed. I look back at that team and I say to myself, how hard was it to beat that GM? You couldn't get these guys, one other player at the forward spot to play with them and make them better. I mean, I know they ran into the Warriors, but still, that team could have been a conference final team every year. And now that window obviously closed quick. But that's why I'm happy for McCollum now, because I really believe that he didn't get to show who he was on a national stage.
How about Riza Shrey, Uncle Dave? What the hell is going on? This guy was the number one pick a few years ago, and he only plays 2 minutes.
Yeah, something's up
What
there, right?
what is going on there? I mean, guy might be, like an Anthony Bennett type of
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, is he as crazy as Anthony Bennett? This is we got to find out. Yeah, Risha Shea is an excellent player. I remember, as a college player, I remember him, but he actually did play 1 minute. You're right. Jesus, actually 2 minutes and 29
Yeah,
seconds.
what is going on there? The guy who was your number one pick 2 years ago, all of a sudden he's only playing 2 minutes in a playoff game?
Well,
Nothing on right there.
yeah, it's a little strange. You're right. It's a little strange.
So what
Yeah,
you have in mind when you draft a guy number one overall? We're not talking about even a first round pick here. We're talking about
yeah, it's really
uh,
strange. But you know
number
what?
one pick.
He's averaging 9 points a game. So obviously, he like the other night. Maybe he's
I think
sick.
he averaged 22 minutes on the year. I mean, is there maybe an injury there we don't know about? I mean, that
Yeah,
really got to
maybe
look
it's
at
something
what's going
going
to
on.
happen.
Maybe it's a bad matchup. But I remember him coming out of not college. I said before I misspoke. After Wembenyama being the guy, I remember Risha Shea being spoken so highly of. And so this is a little
This is
strange,
another
right?
team, Uncle Dave, the Hawks, where if you had a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo on this team, that they could potentially be
Oh yeah,
an
yeah. You
Eastern
get
Conference
Giannis on this
champion.
team, we're talking. The lights could be out.
Yeah, they're just really missing another bona fide, just all-star stud that could just take him over the hump. But like you said, Jalen Johnson, that was just unbelievable. I mean, they really got something there with him.
Well, he's like one of those guys we talked about. He guess he left Duke kind of early in the middle of the year, and he got a bad rap. He kind of has
Yeah,
been a guy that the NBA's kind of forgotten about. But here's this kid. I mean, he's had a better year than any of those Duke guys that have come out recently. I mean,
sure.
he's Zion never had a year like this guy has
No,
had.
no, 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 no.
This kid's had. This is one of the. I
He's had the
said
numbers, Williamson, but he's not had the games played
no.
along with
This
numbers.
this
So.
uh this guy's he's had his year is just absurd,
Yeah, 72 games, and he averaged, like you said, 22, 10, and 8.
and he's not even full grown yet.
24 years old only.
He don't even. Jeez, I can't believe he's that old already. But he doesn't look like he's full grown yet. This kid's a stud. I mean, I know I
Yeah.
hated him for what he did to Duke in the middle of the year, but they just had a poor shooting game. I think they'll be better tonight. And the
The
Knicks
thing
fans
is, with
better
this
hope that
group,
this
Uncle Dave, with the names on this team, there's no reason Buddy Hield you shouldn't give him a look. I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
that's
well,
unforgivable
especially
to me.
since Risha Shea didn't get a look, and Gabe Vincent's 1 for 2. Where the hell's Buddy Hield?
Yeah, I know.
And I know Gabe covers better than Buddy.
Quinn Snyder, I don't know what the hell he's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And Walker 6 for 17. He had a couple of clunkers tonight. So that hurt a little bit.
It'll be interesting. Like you said, game ones, you can't go exactly how by they go. So
Right.
it's
Game
going to
two
be
tonight
interesting
is
to
going
see
to be
what the rest
fascinating. This is the kind of team that they could be up 5 in the fourth quarter and like feeling that Garden crowd, and it'll help them.
Yeah, sure.
Even though they're on the road, it's going to help them. Like all you got to do is find out which guy's got brass balls here who wants to be the villain. Is Johnson going to be that guy? Is he going to be Halliburton? Is he going to be Trae Young? Is he going to be one of the Reggie? Is he going to be one of those guys now that
Yeah,
loves
you need a guy that's going to be able to step up and do that for you, right?
Is McCollum that guy? I think he could, but he's not that personality. Is
Right,
Johnson
right,
going to
right.
be this? Is
Well,
Johnson going to be the
He
new
might
guy?
be the guy now, Uncle Dave, because apparently the knee or the foot to the groin of Brunson, he said he was doing an acting job there. So McCullough might actually be anointed.
Maybe yeah. Maybe he'll
That's
maybe
the
he'll
new
feel
Reggie
that wrath
Miller and
tonight.
Trae Young.
Because Jalen Johnson, maybe he's the bad guy. I'm just so proud of the Hawks for the way they reacted after they just dumped. And then Trae Young goes and sits out. Trey's really, I don't know, his career is starting on the downturn. I said it before, I'll say it again.
He's in like the John Morant group. It just seems like the stock is way down now.
It's like the other day I was arguing with some idiot online. He's telling me that John Morant's better than Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is
No way.
Tyrese Maxey's like a half a step slower than Allen Iverson, and that's saying something.
If you could
This
swap
kid-
Maxey for Morant,
Maxey's a stud.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Maxey's right now. He might be the most underrated guy in the league, except for Johnson here.
Mhm.
Maxey is a beast. He is so quick. He's like Kevin
unbelievable.
Johnson quick. For all people who don't see Kevin Johnson, go
Yeah.
back and watch.
Yeah, he's
Kevin
unbelievable.
Johnson quick, where he'll just go by you and throw it on your head. He can shoot it. I tell you, if the Sixers don't lock him up, if that GM doesn't fix that mess, you got him and Edgecombe there. You just got to add a little more.
Right.
Not Paul George, not Embiid. This person who's a healthy body.
Right.
I mean, come on, these GMs.
So I'm buying their stock long term. Edgecombe.
Me too. They got to step up because Edgecombe is a freaking killer.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He'd be a villain for the Knicks. He doesn't care. He's great.
Yeah. We'll hopefully get a matchup like that eventually. One of these.
Oh
years.
man, he's tough.
How about we'll move on, Uncle Dave, to the Rockets and the Lakers. So,
Oh man, I tell you.
how about this game though? The Rockets. Kevin Durant is a late scratch with a knee.
Might be out again.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, the Rockets now are in a situation where you could be in serious trouble here if you drop this game too.
But I know this is going to sound crazy. I think the Rockets could lose this series.
Absolutely, they could.
Because, and I have to give JJ Redick credit. I thought he did the worst coaching job in playoff history last year with not one sub.
You know what he did though that was really smart though? He took LeBron off the ball and gave it to Marcus Smart.
And how many times have we said
We've been saying this for years now before we even had the show.
Preserve this guy. So he posted up LeBron at either elbow, and you know what? This team felt like the other night watched. I know it's only one game. They felt like that team that Miami had that went on that deep run to the finals, where they just had the right mixture. They weren't great, but they had the right shooters around the right people. So that team had like Jaquez making shots and Hero making shots and Bam Adebayo making plays and Strus making shots. This is what this Laker team felt like the other night. Yeah. This Laker team the other night felt like that. And my man, Luke Kennard, who I've told you can play
9 of 13. He had a hell of a game.
One of the most skilled guys in the NBA. Now, I know you can say, oh, it was a grit. Well, you have to get opportunity to use your skill. Right. This guy is one of the best passers, shooters, and use of his pivot about as good as anybody. He's a high IQ player. I was so happy for Luke Kennard. I'm watching this game. I'm sitting there like, I haven't rooted for the Lakers since
People
Magic
don't
left.
understand, Uncle Dave. He's led the NBA in 3-point percentage
Yeah.
three times.
But this game, they posted up LeBron and they made him this great 13 assists, 2 turnovers. To me, this was finally someone got in his ear. And I'm so happy for Rudy Hachimura. I've always been a fan of his. I just think he never developed it quick enough. I thought he should have been this good before. DeAndre Ayton. Now I know, Houston didn't play any defense, which is really shocking. Can the Lakers shoot 60% again? No. But I'm telling you right now, Luke Kennard can do that again. He can go 5 for 7. He could do it. I mean, he led the league in 3-point shooting, I believe, this year. Vanderbilt, you'd like to get some more out of. I thought Vanderbilt and Hayes, obviously, I'd like to see a little more. Dalton Connect doesn't even play, so something's obviously going on there. Max Kleber's not a terrible player either. What is Bronny James doing getting 4 minutes? I mean, you kidding me? Bronny James, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean,
Well, that was, I think, a kind of a promise type of thing when they drafted him that they would do these.
I know, but he sucks. I mean, Bronny James is awful. We've talked about this a bunch of times. Jake LaRavia is playing a ton of minutes here. He gets, goes 4 for 4 from the line, but I don't know. I still feel like Kleber or Dalton Connect could help. And I love Marcus Smart. So this Laker thing did not shock me. When you're watching that game the other night, the Lakers had the better team on the floor.
They did.
Without Durant, the Lakers have a better team. And
LeBron played perfectly. He took what was there. He was a great facilitator. He did his job. Didn't force anything. I thought they, like you said, they played exactly how they needed to play to win.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, Rockets shoot 37%. They had no business being in this game at all. Clint Capella doesn't play enough.
Well, they kind of, Uncle Dave, have a similar situation with the Timberwolves. Again, they don't have a point guard on this team.
Yeah, well, they don't have a point guard. And the funny thing is, listen to he's shooting. Jabari Smith still can't shoot. 5 for 14. Amen Thompson, who I love, 7 for 18. He's been ringing the ball up. I give him credit for doing it. Şengün, 6 for 19. There's no way Şengün's going 6 for 19 again. He's a freaking player.
He's a poor man Jokic.
Okogie's good. Reed Shepherd, 6 for 20. I mean, what the hell's going on in this game?
Yeah, he's got to play better than that.
Listen to these totals. I would like you to find me another game in NBA history where one team shot 60%, the other team shot 37%, and the score was close.
Yeah.
This game wasn't over until a couple of minutes left.
No, it was. It was a game in the fourth quarter late.
Bizarre. So how does that happen? Well, the free throw line and things of that nature, but this Laker team looked like they had fun the other night.
Yeah, they did.
And I know that sounds corny, but when Luke is playing, it's not fun watching that crap. I love Luke, and I know he's talented, but Jesus,
the ball just sticks too much. Not enough guys are getting involved.
So I mean, this game the other night, very
and that's only with him, not with Reeves. Reeves that doesn't happen. It's with Doncic what happens. If you if you'd add Reeves just to this would be incredible. I think.
Yeah, but how is this game this close? Well, 44 rebounds to 35, like unbelievable. Just Lakers did have too many turnovers. I will say that.
And that's the other thing. Like you said, the Rockets out-rebound the Lakers by 9.
Yeah, and they had 5 less turnovers. So, that's where that game stuck around. But
really bizarre.
I mean, but this is a bizarre – there's no way the Lakers are shooting 60%. And there's no way the Rockets are shooting 36%. But the Rockets could shoot 40% because they got some guys here who are capable of throwing up clunkers. But I really thought this game was fun to watch. And I just liked the way they played the other night. They shared the ball.
They did. And the funny thing is, too, you look at the 3-point attempts, only 19. The Rockets had 33, and the Lakers
24 assists.
Yeah.
So much fun.
No, honestly, it was like you said, it was one of the most beautiful games, not to sound too corny, the Lakers have played all year.
Yeah, 29 assists on all their buckets.
Everyone looked like they knew what their role was. There was no confusion out there.
40 baskets, 29 assists. I love that.
But I thought of you, though, as soon as I saw it. I'm like, Marcus Smart's bringing up the ball. LeBron is now at the... And like you said, LeBron should have been doing this. It's not like this is something you just said. You've been saying this since he was on the Heat, LeBron.
You should never been bringing up the ball.
Come off a staggered screen. You're not going to stop the guy.
If you have him on a curl, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're not going to stop him.
If he comes off a curl, what are you doing with him? There's nothing you're doing with him.
Right. And the crazy thing is, even at his age, he's still kind of like that.
Yeah. Maybe somebody finally convinced him because, and what's funny? When Magic's last year, before he got HIV and he couldn't play the 91 season, people forget. They went out and they picked up Sedale Threet from the Sixers. It was a great move by the GM. And they were going to have Magic off the ball more. And they were going to post up Magic more because Magic was such a great passer. Mike Dunleavy Sr., who I think is a much better mind than his son, even though his son won us a title at Duke. So we're happy about that with 5 threes versus Arizona. But that's a story for another day. Bottom line is Mike Dunleavy Sr. was going to have Magic post up and Sedale Threet was going to handle the ball. And that was going to work. And that was going to work. It's just that Magic with HIV missed the whole year.
Just
But
didn't get the
that team
chance,
was going to
right?
go have a chance to go back to the NBA Finals because they were
Right.
going to post up Magic. And if you didn't double, he was going to
Forget
score.
it. Yeah, right, right. And he
And
was
if
so
you
good
did
that if you
double,
double team him, then he's going to find
yeah,
yeah,
he's the best passer probably of all time. So this is something that they could do with LeBron. Maybe maybe they went to the old well here because if you do this again in game 2, this could work.
the thing is with this game, it was so obvious. Everyone was in such a great flow, it looked like.
Yeah, but
Everyone was
29
locked
assists
in.
on 40 baskets. That's almost
Yeah.
75%. So happy for my man Luke Kennard. I've always loved him. He's been a journeyman. He's been shoveled around everywhere. And here's the other thing: 3 assists. He's a very good passer. He's a lefty, so it messes people up. Marcus Smart, I love him. One of my favorite players. I
He's
die
again
a happy
all-star
man.
glue guy of all time, Marcus
If
Smart.
I had 5 Marcus Smarts, I might lose, but I'd die a happy coach because nobody
Right,
plays
right,
harder.
right, right.
8 assists. Only 2 rebounds from Marcus, so he's probably mad about only getting 2 rebounds. But I was really happy for the Lakers the other night, and I'm rooting for the Rockets, but I was happy for the Lakers.
Yeah, honestly, it's good. This is going to be so fascinating to see what happens this game too, because like you said, there's no way the Lakers again shoot 60%, and the Rockets they're not going to shoot 37 again. But
Right, so you're probably going to get a 1-to-1 game here. But I heard today Durant's knee is still swollen.
right, so what
Uh,
the hell is going to happen? That's the big if right there. What happens with Kevin Durant? So it's
yes.
going to be
So what are
absolutely
you going
must
to do?
see TV to see what happens in game two.
Sure,
But Tari Eason though he for the Rockets he had an incredible game
he
seven.
did. Yeah, there's no way he's going to do that again.
No, exactly. So if you're the Lakers, you're banking on that as well.
Yeah.
Celtics and the 76ers, which the Celtics were just all business here and just
Oh yeah,
basically
they killed
took
him.
apart the 76ers and I so locked in. They got the blend now of just experience, guys in their prime. It's just unbelievable. And Jason Tatum, I don't think anyone thought he'd be at this point when he had that Achilles rupture. I mean, he just looks incredible.
Well, here's the key too. The others made the big play. Shaq always talks about the others. Sam Hauser 4 for 6.
Yep.
Keita as a center now really helps the Celtics. He goes 5 for 5, plays 15 minutes. This is perfect because he's a great athlete. Derek White 4 for 10, chasing around. Peyton Pritchard 4 for 12, 2 for 5 from Shireman.
Yeah, I mean Shireman, Baylor Shireman. I was
Yeah,
making
2 for 2 from Harper. I mean, these guys spread it around and they shot 50%. They hit 16 threes, which isn't even a lot for the Celts. It was really more about the offense of the Sixers shooting 38%.
they had some really good looks too. They just weren't
They
able to.
did 8 for 20 for Maxey, which he's not going to do that again. You're not going to be able to keep him down. Edgecombe, first playoff game, 6 for 16. We'll see how that works out for him. Paul George is just a shell of himself. Kelly Oubre didn't deliver. Paul George and Oubre can't get it done at this point. This is just it's just a sad team because Andre Drummond, I thought played great in the play-in game. But the thing is, like, I really feel like he could still play a little bit, but he can only play for like 25
But that's
minutes.
the thing. He'd be perfect if Embiid was healthy and he was the backup. Then you would have a real team here with a situation where they could really maybe do some damage here in this series. But
This game was just a mismatch from the beginning. And I think though that the Sixers will be a live dog in game 2. I think the Sixers, if the game's close to the end, obviously they'll try to maybe put
plus Nick Nurse
Brown.
is an excellent coach. You're
They'll
definitely
try to
not going to
put
keep them down.
Brown. They'll try to put Brown, I guess, or White on Maxey, but Maxey's still a threat. So this thing is not over yet.
No, I mean this could very well this game too. It could be a game in the last 5 minutes here in the fourth
Exactly.
quarter of this next game, I believe.
Exactly.
But that's the thing though with Boston. They just like you said, just the front office. They're just able to find guys. Like it's almost has the feeling of the Warriors when they had prime Clay, Steph, and
Yeah.
Draymond Green, where you have now guys like Jordan Walsh contributing now, Luka
Yep.
Garza,
Yep.
Peyton Pritchard. We know how excellent he is, but Vucevic was an excellent pickup by
Happy
them
for
as
Garza.
well.
Really, really happy for Luka Garza. Had a great year.
Yeah, Nikola Vucevic, who again has a lot of experience, who's
And
able to
Kata, look
contribute.
at this guy, K. 5 for 5, 15 minutes. It'll give you energy.
What was incredible and staggering in this game is Jaylen Brown when he just turns the corner and he gets downhill. There's just no stopping this guy.
He's so strong. He's one of the
He's
strongest guys in the league. We talk. He's a man.
unbelievable. He's like just an ox. This guy.
Yeah.
People just bounce off of him.
He's so much stronger than his body type. He's big, but he's nobody keeps him in front. He's so
But
strong.
his ability now to also stop on a dime and hit that 15-footer, though. I mean, he's looking like Kobe Bryant on some of these plays here.
He's one of these guys that when he leaves the NBA one day, a long time from now, people realize how good he was. But he'll never
Right.
get the credit he's due because he's a quiet guy. He's not a jackass. He doesn't self promote, and he shares it with Tatum. So he'll never get appreciated as much as he should. But Jaylen Brown's a stud.
Are you shocked, Uncle Dave, with Boston? They're playing Tatum now. He's played 32 minutes. That even the playoffs here, he's not on a minutes restriction. It looks like they're just going
I
full.
hate to say it, he might have been the guy that forced that. Him coming back this year I was against because
Right. I
you know
remember you saying they're like, there's no way you put him back out
I
there.
figure they're winning without him, but I guess he sees a sniff of the maybe the finals again. So maybe he's an old school guy that
Obviously, their medical staff, right, has to be
yeah.
incredible.
Also, I guess he's a guy that wants to take a shot, so
Right.
he's going to take a shot. So give him
Right.
credit.
Right. Because typically in these situations here, it was like with the Last Dance documentary with Michael Jordan, they wanted to sit him out when he had the foot injury his second year, but he
Yeah,
said absolutely not. So
no,
the player could override the front office and the
yeah,
GM and the coach on the situation.
he was supposed to be off his foot, and he was going to Chapel Hill and doing pickup games.
Right, right. So this is a situation where you might have that, where Jason Tatum's like, "No, I'm playing."
Yeah, maybe he said I'm playing. Too bad.
So it's like, I guess it's a situation, right, where you hire a lawyer if you want to be put on the stand. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, yeah. He probably just said I'm playing because I was nervous because they were winning already. So I said just to be safe, wait a year.
Right,
I guess when they're looking around, they see that maybe there's a finals run. That's
right.
maybe what they're
Well, the
thinking.
way they looked in this game one, that certainly looks the case for sure.
Sure.
Then we got the Thunder and the Suns, and it kind of similar to the 76ers and the Celtics here. Just Oklahoma City's just all over Phoenix this whole game, and
Oh
just
man, this
they're
game
not playing
was
around.
this was disappointing. I'm a big believer in the Suns team, but
But
that was
35% from the floor.
yeah, that was not a pretty sight. But I'm a big believer in them. But at the same time, they got their butt. Can't I mean, it's not even. There's just not much to talk about with this game. I mean, Dylan
Yeah.
Brooks 6 for 22, Jalen Green 6 for 16, Booker was 8 for 17, but Colin Gillespie did a decent job. Ryan Dunn can't shoot, so it's just a rough. Grayson Allen didn't play. I don't know what the story was there. Grayson Allen's been playing all year, so I don't know what that story is there. So I'm not sure why Grayson Allen didn't play. But yeah, this game was just disgusting from the start. Obviously, the Thunder are serious. Jalen Williams makes them a totally different team. Chet, Jalen, and Shea didn't even play well. That's the scary part.
The one thing that's really impressed me with the Thunder is just their focus this year. I mean, they go out, they win 64 games this year, and then the first game of the first playoff game here, they just totally take it to the Suns. So they're just a team you can just tell they're not at all a team that's distracted or feeling themselves now and reading their press clippings or whatever. You'd have a situation where this team is just totally business here. You got a situation where Jared McCain didn't even really play in this game, so you blend him in there eventually. This is just a scary looking group.
Yeah, there's a situation there, though. Like we talked about this before, that their star is not a prima donna.
Right. And they're all stars in their roles, like Hartenstein and
Right.
Holmgren and Jalen
And their
Williams.
star is a guy that cares about the history of the game. And so this team will be pushed always because of him. And Chet's a down to earth guy, and Jalen Williams seems the same way. These
Just a
are all
bunch of
guys that will
junkyard
bring.
dogs, Lou Dort,
Yep.
Casey
And Alex
Wallace.
Caruso looks like a
Yep.
crazy person who, if you don't go hard, he'll kill you.
Right.
I mean, like there's some guys there, and like I said, Jared McCain just plays 8 minutes in a blowout, but this team has some talent. So this is going to be fun to watch. Like I said, Shea didn't even play well.
No, 5 of 18.
Yeah, Nuggets, Spurs, and the Thunder, I think, are the only three teams that could win in the West.
Yeah.
I think that Houston could be a pain in the ass, but I don't think they're. I think the way the Lakers are playing, they might have some. I mean, Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, they might not even get past the Lakers, right?
Lakers look like they were having
Right.
fun the other night. That's dangerous when a team has fun.
Sure.
Because all of a
Especially
sudden
when
you get that
everything's on the line.
chemistry clicks, and sometimes you can't put your finger on it. It just happens.
We'll shift over to the Magic and the Pistons. And like you said, a lot of people were shocked by this, but we talked about all year how the Magic were.
This team,
We
the
predicted
Magic,
them to be like about a 65 win team, one of the best teams in the league, and they just underachieved in the regular season for whatever reason. But in the
yeah.
play-in game, and now this game one, they just totally look totally different than what they looked like all year.
When Banchero's hitting threes, there's nothing you can do with him. He's too strong. So he goes out. He gets his 23, he gets his 9, but he looked good doing it too. He only played 37 minutes, which is nice. Franz Wagner, they couldn't guard him in the post, and that's with really good defenders covering him in the post. I mean, he took Cade to the block, Franz Wagner, a couple of times, and Cade's a great defender. Wendell Carter, 8 for 9. You got to punish Orlando on the backboard because they don't really have a center. Wendell Carter's undersized. Desmond Bain, 7 for 20, but I thought he did a decent job. Suggs finally showed up a little bit. But again, they didn't even shoot well. But down the stretch, they made the bigger buckets. And that's the difference. 112, 101. This game was close till about 2
Well, the
minutes
thing is,
left.
you say they didn't shoot well. They were 49%. The Pistons were only 40.
Yeah. I mean, Asar Thompson's not a great shooter. Tobias struggled 5 for 15. So that was unfortunate. Jalen Duren, I didn't think got enough shots. I mean, 3 for 4 out of him is not enough. He needs to get the ball more. He only played 33 minutes. I know he had some fouls early, but he only wound up with 3 fouls. Duncan Robinson, 3. Cade, 13 for 27. But if you look at the bench, they got nothing off that bench the other night. So look at the bench here. The bench probably scored like
Yeah, Danish
10
Jenkins only one
points.
of seven.
Yeah, so they had nothing off the bench. I mean, Karis LeVert, who should still be able to score for you, get you 3 points. I mean, come on, Isaiah Stewart,
Yeah, he didn't give you
three
anything.
points. Kevin Hurd, 3 points. So off your bench, you got basically nothing. You got like 6, 9, 11, 14, 6, 17 points in a game in the NBA off your bench is not enough. But Karis LeVert, I'm surprised. I thought he would come over here and be more of a role, be that scorer they need. Maybe they feel he's done.
They
But
might have to give him more than 4 minutes, so that's the thing.
Karis LeVert can score in this league. So who the hell knows? I'll tell you what, who else can score is Chaz Lanier can score on the bench. He didn't play, and Marcus Sasser can also score. But we'll see. But Orlando, I said all year, I thought they were just on cruise control all year, and they looked disinterested at times. And I love Paulo Banchero, but they looked disinterested at times, and here they are. And this team is not an 8 seed, but they are the 8, but they're not. So we know that.
And now you have a situation. I mean, it's great to have home court advantage, but if you drop that first game as the home team, you must win that second game now. So, I mean, you have all the pressure now on the Pistons. You definitely have to win the second game.
Unless you want to be the 95 Rockets playing.
Right, which is just, it's hard to do. It's only been done a handful of times in the history of the NBA where you've dropped your first 2 games at home and then win the series.
Sure. It's very, very tricky situation here. This is going to be interesting. But at the same time, it's they could definitely go out and lose. I mean, and the stats. It wasn't really a stat game. So like when you look at it, there's no. I mean, like you said, 40% from the Pistons is the problem, I guess. But at the same time, this is not your typical 8. So this is not that much of a surprise.
No,
because they were on cruise control. And we talked about this all year. They were on cruise control. They were just like, all right, let me start in April. That's what they wanted. Can't do that.
No, the way they looked this last 2 games is kind of how we thought they were going to look like the whole year.
This should be a 60-win team, and it wasn't. Wagner and Banchero, they're kind of a team rebounding team. But what's got to happen there is Detroit's got to find a way to punish him on the board. And that's where Duren, I thought, would be more effective because he's a man. And Wendell Carter's good, but Duren you can't guard him around the basket. He's too good.
I think what's also important to bring up, Uncle Dave, is Wagner. He missed half the season, so a little more than half the season. So I mean, that also is a huge reason why they didn't do what they did. Now you're seeing what a player he is.
This team is scary, and they Detroit. I'm rooting for Detroit because I respect Cade and what he's done. But at the same time, man, this is a scary situation. There's no sleep tonight. Detroit's coaching staff, they're not sleeping good tonight. They better order out. They're gonna be up late.
And it's great after the home court, but all the pressure is on you after that. At the Spurs and the Blazers that were on last night.
So disappointing. Such a disappointing game. I'm really into the kid. The kid, I always pronounce his name wrong. Avdia. I love this kid.
Avdia, yeah.
This guy comes from nowhere. I love it.
30 points last night.
Yeah, Donovan Clingan had a rough night against Wemby around the rim. Scared the shit out of him. This is scary. I know Portland's probably going to get banged 4-1 here, but this is a scary team. So, like, Klingan's a kid. I'm just a kid. Scoot's a kid. And you got a guy like Drew Holiday who played awful last night. For him, 11 assists, but 4 for 15 is not his normal night.
Yeah, he's going to play better at 4 for 15.
I know he has to shoot more because this Portland team has not been accused of being great from 3. Rob Williams can play a little bit. This is a scary team. This is not this. I mean, I know they're going to probably get bounced, but here because San Antonio is very good. But I'll tell you, man, this is a team that you got to give this Portland team a ton of credit.
Thiago Splitter for Uncle Dave has been an excellent coach for this year. You have to consider the whole thing. I mean, we've not talked about it for a while, but the whole thing with Chauncey Billups and the whole gambling thing.
Arrested.
Yeah, I mean, so this is a team that definitely had a distraction in the beginning.
Here's the question. Is Dame on this team next year?
Damian Lillard's on this team.
Lillard, my bad. That's not my Lillard.
Yeah, I was
Damian Lillard's on this team next year.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah, yes, correct. He's on the roster. Yeah, he'll be playing next year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
you got to take the over/under next year on the Portland.
yeah, for sure. Because then a guy like Scoot Henderson will come off the bench. So
I don't know why. I always think of Dame and Stoudemire. I guess they're both undersized and both jacked.
Yeah, but also they got the first Dame and Damian, so they got a similar first name too.
Well, I tell you, Portland next year. I'm proud of this franchise. I mean, for years they just were buried up there with those 2 stud guards. They could never fix it. But this is You get, oh my goodness,
Yeah, you got something next year for sure. Yeah.
you get Scoot and this kid Avda and Jesus Klingen. If Dame wants to come back and take a
Well,
couple
that's the
less
thing.
shots,
Lillard will have a situation where he won't have to take most of the load. He'll be able to just pick and choose his spots. So he'll be able
I know
to.
they're not done with this year, but I'm excited for this team next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then a guy like Robert Williams is only going to get better.
Oh yeah, and then I tell you, man, Drew's just a winning player. I can't believe no one plucked him off this team. What the hell were the T Wolves doing?
Right, right. A guy like him, he could play some point for you.
He
Why?
guards everybody. Why
Right,
don't you pick him up?
right. And I know it had to kill the Celtics to get rid of him because he was so
Oh,
good for them.
Jesus, I don't get it. I don't get these teams. I don't
Yeah.
get these GMs.
No, how about a team like the Rockets, Uncle Dave? They could use
Oh,
a Holiday too.
I
Unbelievable.
love. You know, my old Drew. He's one of my favorites.
But on the Spurs side, though, Uncle Dave, Victor Wembanyama, I mean, he's a guy, if you like combine like Ralph Sampson and Kevin Durant, this is what he will
Yeah,
be.
he is. Yeah, he is. The best thing
It's
about him
just,
last night was
he is a freak, this guy.
5 for 6 from three.
I mean,
That's the fucked up part.
this is
Forget
the
the
thing.
other
This
stuff.
guy does everything.
That's the crazy part. That and the fact that he only had 2 blocks, which is really weird. You probably affected like 20
He's
shots.
going to break the all-time blocks record as far as leading blocks in an NBA
Oh
season.
yeah,
He's
he's
done
already
it
good.
three
Yeah.
times in a row. He's going to do it next. He's going to tie it
This
next
is
year.
this is an impressive win though for this team. Uh, you know, Harper's going to be good. Cornette's playing well. Cornette's played well before. You know, Champagne's a good player. You know, Vassell has got to come along a little bit better for them, but this is a good team. This is fun. Castle and Fox together are fun. You know how much I love the Aaron Fox since he tore up Lonzo Ball that night in the goddamn NCAA tournament, and all of a sudden Lonzo grabbed his hamstring in the middle of the game because he was getting his ass kicked and assed out. Castle's a beast. He's had a rough night offensively, but he can play. I mean, this is some team here.
The
This is going
depth
to
on
be
this team, though. So let's say Uncle Dave Wembanyama gets into foul trouble or Cornette gets into foul trouble. Well, then, oh, guess what? I could just bring Kelly Olynyk or Mason Plumlee off the bench, who don't even
yeah,
play. Bismack
yeah.
Biyombo off the bench. I mean, so this is a team that just has depth, and they have now.
And I hate to say this, you're going to laugh, but Biombo's not terrible either.
He's not. He's
And
not.
Harrison Barnes is on this freaking team.
Right. He only played 11 minutes. Yeah.
So this team, you know, this is going to be scary.
I'm telling you, this is a team that could win the whole thing this year. I know maybe
because he's a nightmare. Because you know what Victor does? He neutralizes Chet around that damn rim. You know, so like if they play in the Thunder, he can bother them. But the bad news is they have to play the Nuggets next, and both of them are going to kill each other. I don't want to get far ahead of myself because I don't think these series are over by any means. But because playoff series are totally different than a regular season because the attention to detail is amazing.
the coaching really comes into play too.
But if I could see the Nuggets and the Spurs, I might just want to never leave, not miss a minute of that series.
Oh no, you never want to.
If I was the Spurs, I'd say if I was Spurs coaching staff, I would get in like Wemby's ear and go, "Listen, you got Joker 1-on-1. We're not sending any help."
Right.
And he's quick enough to take him.
He is. Yeah, he is.
So, well, I don't know how they did during the season versus each other. Because, like I said, regular season people don't go hard.
It's totally different, right?
But that could be a coming out party.
Oh, that's going to be insane if you see if we get that matchup.
That's a coming out party. But we have to give a shout out to somebody who's not even in the NBA right now. So let's just give a shout out. When this person retires from what he's doing now, I am hiring him as maybe my GM to pick the draft. De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the stud on the Kings who's buried in there, all on Calipari's squad. All right, we got Monk, we got Fox, and we got Shea.
Calipari definitely knows how to recruit, and he knows he can.
And then we get the guy who's probably even a better shooter than all of them this year is Darius Acuff. Yeah. And then the stud Williams that was on Arkansas right now that probably is going to be a great NBA player, and no one even talks about him. So
plus guys, Uncle Dave, like Tyler Hero, DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh my God. What is he? I'm telling you.
Something
I know his assistant is from the Bronx. He's the guy, his old assistant, but
we don't even talk about guys like Eric Bledsoe.
Oh, like him. Just the evaluation of talent. John Wall.
Yep.
Like I know you're Kentucky and you're supposed to get these guys, but you got D Rose to go to Memphis. So let's go easy there. You know what I'm saying? So this guy with his talent of guards. I mean, like, seriously, I'd hire him as a GM right now.
Absolutely.
I'd be like,
what a job that would be for him, right?
After this is what we're going to do with you, John. We're going to send you to every high school game in America.
Right. Tell us who the best guys are, right?
You do whatever you want. And you know what? We're going to take a kid out of high school. And I know that they're going to fight you on this, but I'm telling you, man, that is not a coincidence. Listen to those guys. And we're probably forgetting 5 more.
Yeah, you can think of guys like also Terrence Jones, guys that
Yeah,
were in the NBA for a
and look
little
at
bit,
this
but
crap.
were still NBA players. Yeah,
I mean, look, this is crazy.
Willie Cauley Stein.
Yeah, and if he had any guards in the backcourt on that freaking 15 team, he had Booker. I mean, like, good God.
Yeah,
Willie Cauley Stein, I was wondering what happened to him the other day. I was thinking about him as I was walking my steps for the day.
not enough offensive game, injuries as
But
well.
you know, he really had a good little career going for himself, and then backfired on him. But anyway, John Calipari, I had to give him a shout out. I'm not a big X's and O Cal fan, but
Yeah,
you
his
can't tell me the
evaluation of
guy doesn't
talent.
know what he's doing. You cannot
Oh
tell me
no,
he does. Darius Acuff is freaking filthy.
yeah, no,
Holy
can't wait to
crap!
see him in the league. We'll get to see that
Oh
next year.
my God, he yeah.
Draft
Good
night
luck.
is going to be must see TV.
Good luck with the going under of the switch on
Yeah,
that ball screen in the middle of the floor. Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
summer league with him is going to be
Oh
incredible.
my God, that's why I tell you I love the summer league.
So, what do you think, Uncle Dave, of like Mitch Johnson? He's a coach. He's not even 40. He's 39 years old, and here he is. He could have a situation where very similar to like Joe Mazzulla, where you have a young coach win an NBA championship with the team.
I tell you, I don't have a problem with the age thing at all. I know it's a much different level, but I became a varsity coach.
Played in college at Stanford, Mitch Johnson. He played from 2005 to
Yes, I
2009.
became a varsity coach at 29, so I was really considered young.
Yep.
Uh, and I don't mind that. I think if you got your passion and you got a good idea, and they can hear you in the interview room, and
Yep.
I
He was a
think
Spurs assistant for 6 years as well, too.
yep, so that matters, and I think that's the right way to do it. I think that's what the Heat did with Spoelstra. And obviously, he's gotten something out of Scoot, which is really awesome. I'm happy for Scoot. I think he got a raw deal for there for a second. I'm sure he participated in that. But I'm really happy for some of these guys. Like he's got Rob Williams, a good player. This is this could be a squad here. So I mean, like this is gonna be fun to watch. And Rob Williams is Texas A&M. He was a very good player, and the Celtics I thought gave up on him a little too quick. But this kid's a player. So he's getting something. He's getting something out of him. So to me, I love guys like that. So like, if he's reaching a guy like this, let's do it.
I
Like
agree.
Rob Williams is good. He was good for the Celtics, but he didn't get enough burn. His last year in Boston, he's playing like 23 minutes and he never gets the ball. And I get it; he had better players around him, but this guy can play, and he's getting something out of him. He's getting something out of Castle. Obviously, he just needs to shoot a little better. I'd like to see him get work Harper in there a little more. Bottom line is like he could get something out of these guys, like Wembanyama and these guys. My fault. I got so excited talking about a young coach here because I have no problem with it. To me, like I love that.
Yeah.
So for me, like I'm looking at this, I'm saying to myself, "Hey, have at it. Why not? Like he's been around the Spurs forever. So what's the problem? Who cares? You'll let
Yeah,
him.
plus he was a guy also, he was a G League player only for a little bit. Some of these guys that were been all-time greats, these guys really just have a hard time identifying with players and being able to get
Yeah,
through
but
them.
he's closer to their age, and that does matter. I've told you this
Of
before.
course, yeah,
As a
absolutely.
head coach, you could see it matters. So maybe Harrison Barnes is all right with playing 12 minutes in a game that's a blowout. Who knows?
Yep.
But Harrison Barnes is a very good player. He gets blamed a lot for the Warriors not winning back to back on that 70-win season there. But he didn't have a good finals. I know that, but he's also covering LeBron James, so it's a little bit of a problem. But they're going to be all right because I really respect the fact of what he's doing here. He's got to get more out of Castle. I'd like to see Harper come around a little more. Luke Cornett, we've seen him play well before, so this is a good team. This team could definitely win it all. I'd love to. I just wish we could have a three-way series between them, the Nuggets, and the Thunder.
Well, we'll get one of those matchups, I believe
If we
we're
could
going to
have
get.
like a battle royale between those teams,
We'll
like
get we'll
first,
get Thunder Spurs, we'll get Thunder Nuggets, we'll get
yeah.
Spurs
So
Nuggets. We're going to get one of those.
yeah, so to me, I don't know, man. I just think it's just so much fun. There's three really good teams there, and I have to say, I know the Lakers are not going to do anything probably, but they're fun to watch right now. And you know me, I'm not a big LeBron fan, but
The way they played that game one was excellent, though.
that was fun to watch.
Yep, Coach Riddick, I got to give him credit. Like you
Yep,
said, he
yep,
finally did what we've been talking.
yep.
You've been hammering this away. You're like LeBron, get him off the ball, get him on the post. He's a great passer. He
Yep,
has a good
he's willing
turnaround jump
passer.
shot
He's a
now.
willing passer. Let him do it.
Yep. He's perfect for that role.
And I tell you what, 1991, go look it up. They picked up Sadale Three from the Sixers. A very good player. And they're going to take Magic off the ball. Smart as hell. And who was thinking that? Jerry West.
Going to bring up a couple college topics, Uncle Dave, before we conclude here.
Sure.
So St. Louis They have
Yep.
9 players now returning to their team, and a
I'm so
team
happy about that.
in
I'm
a
very happy.
situation with the NIL and the transfer portal. How do you think is that possible for St. Louis to be able to bring 9 guys in? Obviously, there's got to be a special culture there, right? That
Well,
has
it's got
been
to be a
developed
culture,
there.
but also it's not a football school, so maybe the money's all going there.
It's a good point.
The other thing is they are missing their best player though, and you know what? The best thing about them is they're going to be good because the league they're in is not going to push them enough. So they're going to be back. They're going to be a preseason top 10 team. Now, I will say about this early in the year, they will be one of the best 10 teams. But by the end of the year, when those big power conferences guys come along, it's going to be hard for them.
Yeah.
It'll be hard for them. So it'll be tough. But I'm very happy for St. Louis. I think they
Great
did
to
it
see,
the right
though.
way.
I mean, that's a situation where you
Very
might
good
not
to
see
see.
that again for another 5 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
I was happy to hear that. Mrs. Scholl's in the room. How you doing, honey? All right. She's on the podcast now.
So
So
good to
yeah,
see.
so it's I'm so happy for St. Louis. The portal's been nuts. I've been following it every day. I'm like obsessed with the portal right now.
And I thought, honestly, I thought this was AI now. This was just a joke here. So, UNC, as we know, has hired Mike Malone.
Yeah,
So, there's a photo that North Carolina put up on their basketball pages here on their Instagram and everything,
yeah.
Facebook. And it's just a photo of Mike Malone holding a basketball, and it's got the word player development in front of it. And it's got all these guys behind him. Guys like, of course, that we associate with Mike Malone developing, guys like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and Antoine Jameson, LeBron James and Danny Green and Chris Paul, Jokic, DeMarcus Cousins, Harrison Barnes, Jamal Murray. So quite a list of guys that he's developed. Of course, we have to give Mike Malone the credit on those guys' success, of course.
Yeah,
But
that would be like me saying
I mean,
Schmidt and
talk about
Foley.
milking a situation. My
Yeah,
God,
that'd be like me saying I developed Schmidt and Foley. No,
it's
no.
it's just
They were the best
totally
backcourt in the
ridiculous.
state. They were the best backcourt in the state. I said it before the season started. Yeah, we kept it simple for them, which we'll take a little bit of credit for that. Coach Ryan mostly, and myself, we did let them just keep it simple for themselves. But I'm not taking credit for that.
But just totally, I mean, out of touch. I mean, the comment section of these were just ridiculous. I mean, they
Well,
were getting
Carolina
absolutely
fans are starving. I had one Carolina guy I'm
roasted.
bitching with online last week, bitching about how Shire hasn't won anything. I go, guy, John Shire is the reason you have a new coach.
Yeah, it's
John
true.
Shire is the reason that you have a new coach. Hubert couldn't keep up with John Shire.
Duke's success definitely adds pressure to that, even though they've not won a championship, but they're winning the ACC. They're
Right.
going deeper into the tournament in North Carolina, so that does put pressure on them for
Yeah,
sure.
if you're 30, if you're 72-6 in the last 2 years, you're doing it right.
You got 50% of D1 players remaining with eligibility
Yes.
or in the portal.
Yeah, 57% as of today. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Oh
It's
my
been
Lord.
nuts. And some guys I don't understand it. It's just like the Giants. Dexter Lawrence goes to the freaking wants to leave and go to the Bengals. Why would you want to leave the Giants now? They're going to be good. Just goes to show you that winning is not a part of this equation for people. And there's those street agents are in their ear. And I guess the street agent wants a piece for themselves. But yeah, there's some situations out there that I just don't get. But we're not in that situation. Why is Ryan Barling leaving St. John's? I know the kid Quinn is a 23-year-old European who's going to start, but at the same time, Ryan Barling was going to play a lot for St. John's. There's no way I'm giving up that crowd chanting defense for half my games at the Garden. That Garden is so alive when St.
Oh,
John's
it
plays
is.
right
It
now.
is. It's
It
electric
is.
there.
They're plus 10 there. They could play the 85 Lakers in that building. They have a shot
Right.
because they're that good in that building.
No, Rick Pitino, they definitely have cultivated the
That
culture
building
there.
hums.
Yeah, yeah. It vibrates for sure. People that I know who go to the games there, they said it's absolutely electric. They said
It's
that
unbelievable. You don't get
environment.
that anymore in sports anyway. Maybe OKC has that. Obviously, Cameron has that.
Plus something special, like you said, you're a college player and you're playing in Madison Square Garden. You can't beat
What are
that.
you doing? I know. You're from out west a little bit. You want to go back to Grand Canyon, which is a good spot for him. But I'm surprised because he didn't play a lot early, and then he became a darling late. And I'm not leaving that. Let's to go, which I doubt. I just plus you play that freestyle with Rick. You get to shoot. Oh my God, I'm not giving that up. Guard.
Right.
As guard, I'm not giving that up.
Then also, we've talked about on this show how younger players that the days of winning with freshmen might be done. Well, guess what? The last 6 NCAA champions
Yeah, so
only
this.
had one freshman starting combined.
Yeah, that's why I argue with people online again. How could Duke not win? You're not winning with a 19-year-old. I got 24-year-old.
2024 UConn was the only one to
Yep.
have a
And
freshman
that team was
starter.
loaded. And
But
that
it's
team was
funny
loaded.
though. It's we were 15 years ago, 10 years ago talking about how it was just a freshman-dominated landscape now in college basketball. It's just totally flipped around. It's just
Well,
incredible now.
the extra eligibility of COVID and the NIL has changed that, and so now you need men, and that's why Patrick Gumba coming back for Duke is huge. He's a man in their post. You also got the other kid for Belmont. He's a stud. So like they're gonna be good again. Carolina's portal's been okay. Louisville went out and spent more than the Catholic Church, so their portal's going crazy. It's good to see a local guy, Preston Edmeade, going NC State. So that's
Yes.
good to see. I'm happy for him. Although I
Cruz
wish they,
Davis, I know he transferred, right? He's out of
yep,
there now as
yep.
well.
So I'm sad for Hofstra because I love Speedy, but at the same time I get it. But I'm happy to see that. But you know what? It's exciting. I know the portal is not something I'm used to, but I've embraced it. I look at it every day, several times a day. So I'm all over it. If you ever want any portal conversations, I'm your guy. I'm all over it every day. SMU got a good portal guy today, finally, so that was good. They lost a big fella to Louisville and Indiana in the portal. Indiana spent a lot of money from football, so that was good. So I'm happy to see this portal thing. All right, it's just another way I can extend my college season. So I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, it
It
gives me
is what it
something.
is, right? Yeah. I think I'd like to see eventually there be some rules put into place right now because it's just too all over the place. But
I'd
it is,
like to see the stop of in-conference stuff, and I'd like to stop the calling during the season of guys. This
yeah,
is
that has to stop. That's insane.
this is just
That's
dirty. This is
that's
like you
literally if you do that in professional sports, that's tampering.
this is what St. Mary's used to do in the Catholic League back in the old days.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. We can't have that. We still have to treat this with some sort of decorum, which I know
Some
is a joke
dignity.
these days.
Some dignity.
Well, we'll leave it there, folks. Enjoy the game twos tonight, all right? Live long and prosper. May the force be with you.
Later, guys.